Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. It's official, Everton have signed Donny van de Beek on loan from Manchester United until the end of the season. There is no buy option, so reflecting on that, Donny van de Beek will return to Manchester United in the summer. Everton are paying Donny van de Beek's full wages. I hope Donny van de Beek does well at Everton. We've made the right decision loaning him out to Everton because he'll get a lot more opportunities at Everton. Quite clearly, he didn't get enough opportunities at Manchester United. Donny van de Beek is Frank Lampard's first signing as Everton manager. Frank Lampard was officially appointed in as Everton's manager today. Frank Lampard replaced Rafa Benitez. Don't forget, Crystal Palace went in for Donny van de Beek. Crystal Palace were in talks with Manchester United. Manchester United got Donny van de Beek from Ajax back in, was it 2020? Manchester United got him for 40 million with add-ons included. Man United paid 35 million up front. There was 5 million in add-ons. Van de Beek's got a contract with Manchester United until 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. So that's the news on Van de Beek. Now, on my last video, I gave you the news on Jesse Lingard. David Ornstein has said that Man United have told Jesse Lingard he's not allowed to leave the club this month. Earlier on today, Jesse Lingard told Ralf Rangnick that he wants to leave Manchester United in a face-to-face meeting. Newcastle and West Ham have been battling it out for Lingard. His move to Newcastle is now off, but he said Newcastle were prepared to pay a 3 million loan fee for Lingard, and he said there was a further 4 million. Lingard doesn't get in our team, but he has been part of the club for a long time. He risen up our academy in that. The second half of last season, he endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Lingard's out of contract at Manchester United in the summer. So yeah, we'll have to wait until the summer to offload Lingard. Manchester United have loaned quite a few players out though in this January transfer window. Like I've just said, we've just loaned Donny van de Beek out to Everton. We loaned Anthony Martial out to Sevilla. We loaned Amad Diallo out to Rangers. And we also loaned Ethan Laird out. In the summer, Cavani will leave because revert back to earlier on this season. Ralf Rangnick said that Edinson Cavani wants to stay at Man United until the end of the season. River Plate are considering a transfer for Cavani to replace Julian Alvarez. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Mata, he'll leave in the summer. Mata's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Matic, he'll also leave in the summer. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Jones, we'll have to wait until the summer to offload him because Fabrizio Romano recently said that Phil Jones rejected a loan move to Bordeaux. Well, Man United had reached an agreement with Bordeaux, for Phil Jones to move to Bordeaux in order to get more playing time. And reports in France said that Phil Jones' talks were at final stages. But Rangnick's happy for Phil Jones to stay. Eric Bailly, he'll leave as well in the summer. Do you think Tellez will leave in the summer? I hope not, because Tellez has impressed me under Rangnick. Tellez is our first choice left back under Rangnick. And Henderson, looks like we'll have to wait until the summer to offload him, but it actually said earlier on today that Newcastle have been in talks over getting Henderson on loan. And the other week, reports in Spain said that Man United will look to sell Harry Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the summer. That duo are not good enough to represent the club. And Ronaldo, like I say, he could be leaving Man United in the summer. Now, I have been talking with you a lot about Mason Greenwood in recent days. Mason Greenwood was suspended by Manchester United following allegations on social media. Yesterday, Mason Greenwood was arrested on suspicion of rape and assault. Yesterday, Manchester United issued a statement saying Mason Greenwood will not return to training or play any matches until further notice. And like I mentioned on my last video, police get more time to question Mason Greenwood over alleged rape. But it's disgraceful what Mason Greenwood has done. His career is now over at Manchester United. His England career is also over as well. He's only the age of 20. Greenwood joined Manchester United at the age of 6. He made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019, and since he made his senior debut, he's made 129 appearances and scored over 30 goals. Last season, he signed a new 4-year contract. But you know what? Manchester United have got very, very good players. But on the other side of things, we've got inconsistent players as well. Look who we've got. We've got Edison Cavani. He's a good player. Cavani recently came off the bench and got the assist for Marcus Rashford's winning goal in the 1-0 win against West Ham. But a lot of people said that Cavani was offside. Cavani had a minor injury not so long ago and revert back to earlier on this season. He had a couple of injuries. We've got Marcus Rashford. Rashford has endured a lot of poor games since he had that operation on his shoulder, and a lot of Man United fans, including me, have said that Marcus Rashford has not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. But to Rashford's credit, he's found some form in the last couple of games. You know, Rashford came off the bench and scored the winner against West Ham. He scored in the 93rd minute of stoppage time. Rashford also came off the bench in the 3-1 win against Brentford and scored. Reflecting on that, that ended Rashford's 3-month goal drought. He had a minor leg injury not so long ago, did Rashford. I've been hearing that PSG still want him. Earlier on this season, Barcelona were in for him. Rashford's contract at the club expires next year. Rashford does receive £200,000 a week on his current contract. Earlier on this season, it said Marcus Rashford was preparing to open contract talks with Man United. Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He risen up our academy and that he's been a United player since the age of 7, and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016, and Rashford's nearly made 300 appearances in all competitions. We've also got Anthony Elanga. He looks a very good asset for the first team squad. He's made quite a few first team appearances now. Elanga played very well against West Ham the other week. His movement was good, he got into good positions and he showed his skills at times. He also played well against Brentford. Elanga scored against Brentford. That was his first goal of the season. It was a very good header. He made an impact in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa because he had a couple of chances in that game. Revert back towards the end of last year, Elanga committed his future to the club because he signed a new contract with Man United until June 2026 as an option of a further year. Elanga's been part of the club for a long time. He risen up our academy in that he joined Manchester United's academy at the age of 12. I think he's now, 19? I heard earlier on this season that he could have been going out on loan to a championship club. We've got Jadon Sancho. Now, Jadon Sancho hasn't been that good. He's done nowhere near as well as a lot of Manchester United fans expected, but it does take some players time to settle in. Revert back to when we had Solskjaer, we couldn't get the best out of Sancho because there was quite a few games Sancho didn't even play in under Solskjaer, and when Solskjaer did play Sancho, he persistently played him out of position. The best games Sancho's enjoyed since he signed for the club was the games against Chelsea and Villarreal away because he scored in both of them games. To be fair, he did well in the 3-1 win against Burnley, but unfortunately was denied a goal in that game. Sancho's missed the last couple of games due to personal reasons. Sancho enjoyed 4 good years at Borussia Dortmund before he signed for Man United. Man United got Sancho last summer for 78 million with add-ons included. Man United paid 73 million up front. Sancho's got a contract with Man United till June 2026 as an option of a further year. We've got Juan Mata. Don't have a great deal of a perception on him anymore because Juan Mata doesn't get in our team. He lost his place in the team a while ago. And he's aging up, he's lost that yard of pace, but despite all of that, he's had a good career at Manchester United. He's made 276 appearances in all competitions and he's scored 51 goals. Mata's been at Manchester United for 8 years, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Man United got him from Chelsea back in 2014. Man United paid 37.1 million. Back in 2020, Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Man United have got the best player in the world overall in Cristiano Ronaldo. Like I said earlier on in the video, there's a good chance Ronaldo will leave Man United in the summer because he's not happy. Well, it said Ronaldo will leave Man United in the summer if they fail to qualify for the Champions League and he faces a 25% pay cut should Manchester United fail to qualify for the Champions League. Now, reports were saying from Spain the other week that Ronaldo wants to return to Real Madrid. Before Ronaldo endured like 9.5 years at Real Madrid. That's before he went to Juventus, and Ronaldo's already asked his agent Jorge Mendes to find him another club. Revert back to earlier on this season, Ronaldo was targeted by PSG. Ronaldo did play in the game against West Ham the other week. To be fair, he did well, played a part in Marcus Rashford's winning goal, and could have won a penalty in that first half. He was a doubt for the game against West Ham though, because prior to the game he actually picked up a minor neck injury, but obviously recovered from the neck injury. Ronaldo's had a few injuries since he re-signed for the club. Don't forget Ronaldo was furious for being substituted against Brentford, but Ralph Rangnick defended his decision to substitute Ronaldo against Brentford. And a couple of weeks ago, Ronaldo gave an interview when he was critical of the youngsters, so reflecting on that, he was demanding more from the youngsters, and he was backing Ralph Rangnick to do a good job at Man United. And Ronaldo also said, "I'm not at Man United to compete for 6th or 7th. Finishing below 3rd is unacceptable." Since Ronaldo re-signed, he's scored 14 goals in all competitions. He's got over 800 goals in his career. Hasn't he? Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. He wears the number 7 shirt and he's got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. Mason Greenwood was a good player, no longer a good player now, because like I mentioned earlier, Mason Greenwood's career is over at Man United, reflecting on what he's done. Bruno Fernandez, he's one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandez, to be honest with you though, was anonymous against West Ham the other week. I thought he was far superior in the games against Brentford and Villa in the league, because against Brentford, Bruno Fernandez provided 2 assists and he scored both of Manchester United's goals in the 2-2 draw against Villa. I think the games against Brentford and Villa are the 2 best games that Fernandez has endured so far this season, because let's be honest, Fernandez has endured a lot of poor games this season. Was it a few weeks ago now, like I updated you on, The Athletic said that Bruno Fernandez rejected a contract offer from Man United. Said Fernandez contract talks are postponed until the summer, having turned down an offer last year. He said Fernandez was demanding similar money to the top earners at the club. Fernandez receives £100,000 a week at the moment. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Fernandez has been a Man United player for 2 years. We got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. We've got Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is a good player and he's also an imperative player as well. He is injury prone, is Pogba, which is a concern. He's had quite a few injuries since he re-signed for the club. The good news is from Man United perspective that Pogba is set to return after the international break. Rangnick confirmed that the other week. Pogba has been out with injury for a while. Now, I'll give you the news on Pogba the other day. It said Paul Pogba is willing to stay at Man United as long as Ralph Rangnick is manager for next season. Pogba has been impressed with Ralph Rangnick since his arrival, and Pogba is willing to sign a new contract. He's out of contract at Manchester United in the summer. Revert back to the other month, the Sun said that Manchester United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract that actually would have made Pogba the highest paid player in Premier League history. But Pogba actually came out and denied that he'd been offered that contract. This season has been Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. He's played 212 times and he's scored 38 goals. Man United paid £89 million for Paul Pogba, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive signing at the moment. We had him when he was a lot younger, under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Got other midfielders as well. You know, we've got Scott McTominay. Not a great player overall, but to be honest with you, McTominay has been our best performer under Rangnick. I'm hoping he can persist with these good performances. McTominay weren't great against West Ham the other week, but he was very good in the game against Brentford. He was involved in the build-up to 2 of the goals. Missed a 2-2 draw against Villa due to suspension. He was very good in the FA Cup game against Villa. He got man of the match. The only goal that game against Villa in the Cup came from a Scott McTominay header. McTominay played very well in the game against Burnley last year. He scored in that game. I thought he played well in the game against Norwich away last year. And he was very good against Leeds on the opening day of the season. He's been part of the club for a long time. Revert back to 2020, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. Manchester United have also got Fred now. I don't think Fred is good enough to represent the club. But Fred has had his good games this season, especially under Rangnick. But he's had a lot of poor games as well. Manchester United got Fred a few years ago from Shakhtar Donetsk, didn't we get him for around £50 million? And I've got to make an admission regarding Fred. I thought he was an exceptional player during his time in Ukraine. Manchester United have also got Matic, not good enough to represent the club. Like I said earlier on in the video, Matic will leave Man United in the summer. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his opportunities. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got. Matic has been at Man United for over 4 years, got him from Chelsea back in 2017, got him for 40 million. Like I said, we've got Jesse Lingard. Like I said earlier on in the video, not allowed to leave this month, so that means he'll be leaving in the summer. Lingard's not good enough. We've got Alex Telles, that's a very good left back. Like I said earlier on this video, I've been very impressed with him, especially under Rangnick. The reason Manchester United brought Telles in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. Revert back to earlier on this season, Telles had an injury. We got Telles back in 2020 from Porto, got him for, 15.4 million with add-ons included. We've got Luke Shaw, he's a good left back overall, but Luke Shaw's endured a lot of poor games this season, and I'm shocked in that aspect because revert back to last season, Luke Shaw was very, very good. He was probably the best left back in the Premier League last season. Luke Shaw, I think, is out of injury at the moment. He had a couple of injuries earlier on this season. He's injury prone is Luke Shaw, which is definitely a concern. He's been at Man United since, 2014, so he's been at the club around 8 years now. I think he's out of contract is it next year? You know, Man United have got quite a few centre-halves. Obviously, we've got Harry Maguire. He's definitely not good enough to represent the club. Maguire had a minor injury not so long ago. Revert back to earlier on this season, he had a calf injury. And he had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. We need to take the captaincy off Maguire. He's not a leader. Maguire's been at Manchester United over 2 years now. Man United got him for 80 million, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Man United definitely overpaid for him. We've got Rafael Varane. To be fair, Rafael Varane is a very good centre-half. Varane played well against West Ham the other week. He also played very well in the game against Brentford. They're the best 2 games he's enjoyed since he come back from that hamstring injury. Don't forget, at one point, Varane had a groin injury, so he has endured 2 injuries since he signed for Man United. Man United signed Varane last summer from Real Madrid. We got him in a deal worth 41 million with add-ons included. Man United paid 34 million up front. Varane's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. He's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world because he's highly experienced and got a good pedigree behind him, because look at the amount of trophies he won when he was at Real Madrid. We've got Victor Lindelof. He's not good enough to represent the club. We need to move him on this year, but to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to. Lindelof has played a lot of games for Man United. He's played a lot of games alongside Maguire. He's played some games alongside Beek, and he's played some games alongside Varane. Lindelof didn't play any part against West Ham last time out due to personal reasons. Lindelof's house got robbed. Lindelof's been at Man United since 2017, got him from Benfica. We got him for 31 million. We've got Eric Bailly. You know, he's a good centre-half, but Bailly doesn't get in the team much. You know, Bailly lost his place in the team a while ago. Bailly's been at the African Cup of Nations. The last game he played for Manchester United was the 3-1 win against Burnley, but he actually came off injured in that game. He's injury prone, which is a concern. Back in April last year, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. Manchester United paid £30 million for Eric Bailly. Back in 2016, Man United got him from Villarreal. We brought Bailly in under the Jose Mourinho era. We've got Phil Jones as well. Like I said earlier on, he'll leave in the summer because he rejected a loan move to Bordeaux. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. This season is his 11th season at Man United, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Obviously the right backs we've got Diego Dalot. That is obviously our first choice right back under Rangnick. Dalot's been very impressive in some games this season. He's been subjected to transfer speculation before. Of course, last season Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, again, some experience. Man United got Dalot from Porto, paid £19 million for him. Dalot's out of contract at Man United next year. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we've got him. Now, I've got my reservations about Bissaka, and I'm starting to wonder, is he good enough to represent the club? The attacking side of his game is very poor, but defensively most of the time he's very good. Bissaka has been out due to illness. I think this season's been his 3rd full season at Man United. Man United got Bissaka from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Got him for 50 million with add-ons included. Did Man United pay 45 million up front, and there was 5 million in add-ons. So there you go. And we've got quite a few goalkeepers. Obviously, we've got De Gea, our first choice goalkeeper. De Gea's been sensational this season. He's now back to his best, is De Gea. Obviously, we've got Dean Henderson. He's our second choice goalkeeper. Looks like we'll have to wait until the summer to offload him, like I mentioned earlier. I think Newcastle have now dropped out. Henderson doesn't get in goal much. He's only made 2 appearances this season. Revert back to earlier on this season. He was out with COVID for a while. Our third choice goalkeeper is Tom Heaton. Man United got Tom Heaton on a free transfer from Villa last summer. I think he signed a 2-year contract with an option of a 3rd year. And I think Lee Grant's still at Man United as well. So, there you go. As you all know, it is deadline day now. It's not long now until the transfer window shuts, and Man United have not made a signing in this January transfer window. That is disappointing. Obviously, Man United want a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. Today, there has been reports coming out about Yves Bissouma from Brighton, saying that Man United were interested in signing him, and, Villa reignited their interest. Throughout the course of this January transfer window, Man United were relentlessly linked with Denis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and there was rumours saying that Man United were in for Ruben Neves from Wolves, but Wolves said they want between 40 to 45 million if they consider offloading Ruben Neves. Man United hoped a bid of around 35 million would have been enough for Ruben Neves. There was reports coming out about Ousmane Dembele recently, saying that Man United were willing to sign him, and Man United made contact with Ousmane Dembele's agent over a possible move for the Barcelona forward to replace the suspended Mason Greenwood. But Man United said that the reports linking Ousmane Dembele to Man United were nonsense. Throughout the course of this January transfer window as well, Man United have been in for Amadou Haidara from Leipzig. And Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham have been long-term targets for Man United. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.